So welcome back down to Portway. We're here on a training night. We're going for a little bit of a different kind of interview and catch up with a few people. So we've just had massive 7 games in a row. Really big section of the season all in one go there, and with 5 wins in that as well. It was really great performances. So first up, Lewis, who's just returning from injury. It was the first game of the season.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you've had a bit of a different season to normal.
Yeah.
You've had on the sidelines watching the team progress. So I mean, how have you found it? And then obviously you're reintegrating and getting up to speed what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
So how have you found the season?
It's been hard for me personally because obviously I've been out for like 7 or 8 months from the start of the season, but I've constantly been coming up to the club and training and stuff, getting on with it. But now it's been good. I mean, you can tell our improvement from the start of the season is like substantial. I mean, with a new coach coming in, the training sessions have got a lot better. Our availability has got a lot better. And it's just easier to work on now with our availability. We had a lot of injuries at the start of the season, so getting the lads down now and having a consistent sort of like 15 to 20 of us that turn up week in, week out is actually really good. And we're starting to get wins and it shows.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, to add to that second half of the season, we also had new additions who we're integrating in and getting all used to each other and stuff. They're really adding now to selection dilemmas because we've got so many more people available.
Yeah.
So it's great to see, but obviously fight for shirts is so much more.
Yeah, I mean, it is difficult. I mean, we've had Shane come in who's really good at the lineouts, adds a bit of experience to the team, and I'm sure you'll speak to him later. But Shane's been really good trainer. Availability, he's here every week. And that's been really good for the lads to learn off with the line-outs and the forward sort of stuff. And then the backs, we're obviously working week in, week out on all our moves and new players coming in and stuff like that. So now it's been really good. The second half of the season, we're sort of really on it. And you can see the improvements in the league table and stuff like that, and we're getting wins, which is really good.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you, Lewis. We're going to invite Shane in now to kind of see his side of it as one of the new players. And we'll see you on Saturday, hopefully. Yeah. So welcome on, Shane. Obviously, you've been here all season, but we haven't got the chance to speak to you yet. Like you said, since you've joined, you've got yourself, you kind of made that position a second row and really claimed it, and no one's moved you from that yet. You're here consistently throughout the season. It's been really great having that consistency of players kind of building throughout the season and stuff. So, I mean, you're a new player in. How have you found it integrating with the squad, and particularly as the season's gone on and stuff?
Yeah, it's been the club here, really inclusive club, from kind of the backroom staff to the boys, just really welcoming. There's a nice family vibe to the club, but there's a good ethos there with trying to push performances and push individual player performances. It's been a good few years really since I've played, about 4 or 5 years. So jumping back into it, obviously quite rusty, but the boys were sound. So I've kind of found my feet again relatively quickly with the help of the coaching staff and the other players as well. So it's been good.
Yeah, and obviously as part of that, you were there for the beginning of the season where there was some teething issues with new players coming in and needing to change things in terms of performance. But see, now you were there for those last few games with those 5 wins in a row as well. Have you noticed any kind of shift in and around the team and the squad and stuff like that in those kind of performances, and maybe with confidence and stuff coming from that?
Yeah, I mean, we had some difficult times towards the beginning of the season, and I think boys really had to. We kind of really knuckled down there coming into Christmas time. We really had to pull our finger out really, because some of the performances we were putting out there, we knew they weren't good enough, and for the amount that the volunteers put in and the coaching staff were putting in, we needed to put some pride in the shirt really. So I'm really pleased with how we've kind of galvanised since Christmas, especially like you say on that kind of 5-match run. That was really good. We had a few games there where we really had to go to the well for each other. So it was nice to kind of build those relationships that you don't really get outside of a match, and that trust between players, that when you know you need to dig in, do some dog work and just get the result, the boys beside you are gonna dig in with you and crack on. So I think we've got a lot of belief and a lot of confidence from those results. I mean, unfortunate against Earlsdon in our last match, but we'll park that and we'll try and carry on the form that we kind of started at the beginning of the year for the last 2 league games.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been really great to see those performances. Like you're saying, you get to have those performances. The matches that might not go your way, but it's then how you bounce back and stuff, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So yeah, can't wait to see all those, that more of that hard work, and it's been great to see you out there. So and thank seeing you, as a new player coming in, buying into the shirt like the way you're saying, and finding that belief with everyone else and stuff is really great to see. So so thank you for joining us.
No worries.
So as someone else who's returning is going to be Joe Rogers next. Woo! So thank you, Shane. Nice to see you again.
Comfort on this.
So welcome, Joe. See, you've been with us before. You've done M&Js and you were in the seniors team and stuff like that. And then you've gone away to university, played sometimes in that when you could. But I think you've gone and experienced rugby elsewhere as well.
Yeah.
So how have you found it returning this year? Because a lot has changed since you were last year.
Yeah, so obviously it's been good. Felt like a little bit of an outsider when I came back in, but coming back and having some of the boys that I played Colts with and some of the boys that I played senior rugby with in the Merit League, and then also seeing some of the new faces that have come, it's been really nice. And it took me a couple of weeks to get back into it, but yeah, it's been nice to see it. But yeah, as I was saying, we kind of come down Tuesday, Thursday. You hear all the time really. So I think we've become quite a tight knit group in a way, and returning players, new players, everyone's fit in really well, and there's kind of drive within the team to get well. The objective obviously at the start was to get promoted. Obviously we know that's not possible anymore, but there's been big talk about the cup run, and a few of the boys, well, all of the boys are really hopeful that we can do that and get some silverware by the end of the season. So
yeah. I mean, that cup run was starting with Brackley away would be massive. I think on the 12th of April, but I mean, we've still got 2 more key fixtures where we can climb the table quite a lot if results go our way. So it's now going to be, I mean, particularly with the cup, shirts are up for grabs as well. So, but everyone's going to we're trying to deliver now for those last 2, aren't they?
Yeah, and I think there's massive competitiveness throughout the team now. It's everyone's fighting for shirts. Like for me, with the scrum half position, like I'm fighting with 2 people. Like we've got people like Lewis returning from a big injury that he had at the start of the season, then really competitive in the backs, and also we've got some boys that are pretty good in the forwards as well. Some second rows that give me some decent ball. Won't name names, but yeah. Obviously, also nice to have old George Gaffer. Some really nice new ideas coming through. Really expansive, and I think you can see that if you come down and watch at Port Vale, if you follow us and travel away, you can see that we're trying to get the ball out wide and getting behind teams. So yeah, I think it's been really good to come back and play that style of rugby instead of just boring stick it up your jumper type thing. So yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, we're doing the hard work of it, but it's earning us the chance to go and play that kind of expansive rugby. So yeah, no, it's really great. So thanks, Joe, for joining us.
Yeah.
So as a little late addition to the interviews I did with everyone else, we drag in one more person, slightly worried about Shane and not having a second row pairing. So joining us on this one is Adam, who's obviously been here for quite a long time through minis and juniors and into the senior team. The end of last season you were injured, and so you spent the off season and the first half of this season recovering from injury. And then after Christmas you took back to the pitch, and then you've been in that 7 games in 7 weeks. So you've got kind of similar to Lewis, a different perspective in seeing both sides of the team developing throughout the season. So how have you seen that from both off the pitch and on it?
It's been interesting. I've not had a long period of absence out of the game particularly, so it's definitely been a new thing for me, and seeing it from this side has given me a little bit of a greater perspective, and coming back into the team, I've come in with a greater appreciation for what's going on around behind the scenes, because I'm doing a lot more watching than participating. So it's been good for that side of things, and then coming back in that 7-game run was definitely, in terms of fitness, a real trial by fire, just throwing me in pretty much 80 minutes every game, but it was needed, because I'm definitely better off for it now, and it's just I didn't really get a chance to think about coming back from injury, anything like that. It was just head down, get to work, which is been good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, getting ahead of the head games in the way you managed to, because you were just kind of thrown back in. Clearly, you were ready for it.
Yeah.
So you didn't have this build-up time and is it, isn't it, and stuff, which is always great. So obviously, in that return, like you said, played quite a lot of matches, quite a lot of minutes, and in the away trip to Claverdon, you actually took on an official leadership role as captain for the first time for the match day. So how did you find the experience of having to like lead the team talks and kind of do all that kind of stuff on the on the pitch?
It was a weird experience, to be honest, because I didn't get much time to prep as captain. I only knew a day before, so I didn't really get much time to think about many processes. And it was a weird one because obviously you've got to try and take on all these other responsibilities, but not let it affect your normal game. So it was a hard one to balance, kind of mentally, of trying to be the person that the team looks to in that scenario. And also having to deal with the ref in a different kind of role, but then also still manage my own game as effectively as possible and not let the team down in that regard. And it was an interesting balance, and it was something that I feel a lot better for having done. But it's definitely a learning curve, and something which if I get the opportunity to do again, I'll be relishing the opportunity.
No, that's really great. And I mean, obviously you were selected because they saw you as leading on the pitch. As one of the leaders on the pitch beforehand anyway, so obviously you've now get to carry that on into the rest of the season, and having again a real learning experience this season in many different facets of what goes on into the club and rugby and stuff. So how do you think we're looking now? I mean, we've got Southam next, and then we've got Harbury to round out our season before we start the cup. So how do you kind of think we're shaping up, particularly for Southam this Saturday?
I think coming off the back of a good run, and then the loss to Earlsdon 2 weeks ago was obviously not ideal, but now that promotion's out of the question for this season, we can go full pelt into the cup run. So we can use these next two games as a real chance to iron out any creases in our game plan and really start building some momentum and start bouncing into the cup run in terms of wins and really get the squad moving as one. It'll be two tough games against two very good teams who are still fighting for promotion in their own respective games. So this is a chance to really test ourselves and test our game plan against two of the best teams in our league. So I think we're all relishing the opportunity, and as an opportunity for chances going into the cup run, I think, well, I for one am relishing going in for a big cup run and trying to do as best as we can for the club. I can't speak for everyone in that regard, but I think it's a really good opportunity for the club, and I think we need to take these two games as a big chance to go make a big statement before we go on this run of games.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you're getting the chance to peak at the right time of the season and stuff, isn't it? Building into that. So, I mean, we can't really say much more about Saturday's game, I don't think. Other than, we'll have to see how it goes on the pitch. So, thanks to everyone for joining us again. Thanks, Adam. And we will see you at Southam on Saturday. Cheers.